Hi, welcome, Angie. Thank you for agreeing to do this. So, I've been interviewing people that attended the London event a couple of years ago now, and just hearing kind of what's changed, what's different, and why they're attending the Birmingham event. And we met at the London event. That was the very first time we met. I can't believe it. It feels like I've known you forever. Already. I think we were destined to meet, but I thought we'd start by you perhaps sharing a little bit about who you were being, and why you attended that event in the first place. You know, what piqued your interest. Um, is that okay?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for inviting me to do this because I know you've been doing such an amazing job of interviewing the attendees from London for just our page for the Birmingham page to show people what they can expect when they come to Birmingham. So I want to thank you for having me and asking me, and I'm really grateful to be here with you today and be sharing this space. But yeah, that question, wow. So you really kind of you really triggered a thought in my head when you reached out to me and said you kind of referred to how much you'd seen me change since the Birmingham event. And I realized I hadn't thought much about that level of change recently, that I'd just been operating from where I am and doing what I'm doing without really thinking back. And it got me really thinking back to where I was. And, when I went to the London event, I was I was at a point in my life where I knew things had to change, that I was really ready for the change when I went. And I believe that readiness, that was the catalyst for why I changed so much through the event. I was ready to hear the speakers on the stage and what was possible. And I was ready to drop excuses. I was ready to drop playing small. And most of all, and most significant, is I'd always been able to create and do and build, and I'd never felt like it was for me. I'd built businesses, I'd made a lot of people a lot of money. I'd done a lot of free work, designs, art, websites, coaching, all for other people. And something had kind of just switched where I was beginning to realize, I'm worthy too. And what came out of that was realizing that as I see myself as being as worthy of everyone else, the worthiness I receive in everyone else also increases. So I've seen other people's potential a lot greater than where I was before, as well as my own. Both have happened. And that, I would say, has been my most significant shift. And the one sentence that sticks in my mind, it may have been a few things, but the one thing that sticks in my mind was Steve Hardison, when he said, it was something I can't remember. I thought I was going to remember it. It's not quite coming back to me. It was along the lines of mistrusting the judgment within yourself. And I'd written it down in my book. It was about judging the judgment, something around that. And I really realized that the thing that I should be, doubt the doubt. I think it was doubt the doubt. So one thing I'd realized I'd been doing is I'd been believing the doubt in my own mind that I wasn't good enough.
Yeah, absolutely love that. what you've just brought to mind is that I used to think that people who took care of themselves, who did things for themselves, and I'm not saying that in that there can't be things for others as well, but just the placing their own value up there. I used to think that only selfish people thought like that, and that wasn't um, acceptable or to be encouraged, or that's something that I'd even want to consider. And a huge part of this journey for me has been reconnecting to me in life. Where am I in this? What what do I want to achieve in this, or what do I think would be a good idea? You know, because I think I'd been operating on the assumption that that wasn't acceptable. You know, that wasn't something that I could bring into life. So I absolutely love that you saw that, and even as you're sharing and I'm listening, I can feel the power of just that,
Mm.
um, and the difference that that would have made. And so let's talk about that. Like, you mentioned from that you've seen the worthiness in others more, that's come through. But like, what are some of the other changes, you know, that have come just from that, just from seeing that, you know, that you didn't have to take your personal judgment seriously. You know, that was the thing to doubt rather than like doubting yourself.
Oh, it's been everything. So I was running businesses, but running them for other people. And I realized, I can actually do that for myself. So that was huge. And when we do our the wealth program that I do at the moment with a group, one thing we always look at really closely is having both hands open. That if I'm willing to receive and I'm not willing to give, then I block the flow, because I become really panicky about what I'm holding on to and what I've received. And that causes me stress and anxiety, and it stops the flow coming in, because if the world's seeing that I'm not willing to give, it's going to stop giving to me. And on the other hand, where I was, if I'm here with my willingness to give and give and give, but not receive, I run out of things to give, because I'm not allowing any to come in. So I'm completely blocking that flow of what I can do for everybody around me. And having both hands open, the giving and the receiving, I've been able to increase my impact on our community to a point where I've gone from floundering around trying to support myself and my family to building businesses where we're supporting many families in the community, where that's just getting bigger and bigger, where there is no ceiling, because we can keep building this. I've got 2 more projects that we're working on this year that at the moment is likely to create about another 10 to 15 jobs in the community. So we've taken on another 4 staff members this week. And that's my real passion, is people in the community that may not have had opportunities, maybe working for minimum wage in a dead-end job, that they actually come into what we're building and they have some agency over their own life, over their own journey, over what they want to build for themselves. And that's my real passion, and that's what I've been able to turn around. But before I could do that, I had to do it for me first, because it wasn't going to exist without my ability to do that for me first.
And I know you've got a real passion about enabling others. I've been part of the wealth creation group. I've seen like what's been possible in that, and the possibility you're creating for others and what they've gone on and done as well. And what I'm hearing, and I'm guessing that's all like, I was going to say I'm guessing that's always been there, but like that's a massive assumption. But what I'm hearing as you speak is that from knowing that you matter, and that like you can make a difference, not just to your own life, but to other people's, that it's okay to do things for you, that it's sounding to me like you've created this real confidence in yourself, which is then reflected in like how you show up in life. So that this aspect of like giving and receiving is coming from like the confidence and the kind of acceptance that you have for yourself. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case, but as you were talking, I was like, wow, just from that, um, how you're showing up in life with that is having so many knock-on effects. Like not just with what you're creating for you and what you're allowing to come in, um, and flow out, but what you're creating for the people around you. And it just, as you were sharing, I got a real sense of that. You know, there's just this like little thing that flips within inside you that's having you show up um differently. And I've said confidence because that's how it looks to me. But you may have your own words for that. But I'm getting like a real sense of the difference in how you're being for the people around you and for yourself. And I should have flipped that the other way, how you're being for yourself and then the people around you, with just that one tiny flip.
Do you know what's coming up for me within that? It's a couple of things, and this is the power of these experiences, the power that was in London, India, Arizona, and that will be in Birmingham, as Birmingham's going to be my 4th event. And what I've seen so clearly is anyone that shows up with an openness will see what they need to see for themselves, and it will unlock the biggest part of the impact they can make on the world for them. And for everyone, it's going to be different if they're willing to see that. And that is more than confidence to me. It's about this chatty little voice that we've all got in our heads. It's about understanding it's going to come up anyway. And the term that we use all the time of being, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be within this? And it's not that chatty little voice in your head with your default document that we walk through life stops. It doesn't. It can still come up and it will still say things like, you know, oh, you're not worthy to speak to this person. Who do you think you are approaching this person over here? And when we hear that voice, it's default to go, oh, yeah, that must be true because that's what my mind's telling me. And what the events allowed me to do was start to question that. What the conversation around the ultimate coach did was allow me to start to question that. So when that chatty little voice comes up and it tells me I'm not good enough, or or the what ifs. What if you fail? What if you mess it up? What if somebody else is impacted by this? I can then recognize that, oh, that's my default, that's the chatter. So I can make a different decision. I can go into my document and I can pull up something that's going to serve me more in this moment and be that anyway, regardless of the voice that's telling me that I can't. And that's been bigger for me than confidence, because I found that confidence comes from doing, even when you've got the chatty voice, even when you're scared, even when you're not sure. It's the reward rather than what needs to be innately there for us to act.
Yeah. It's like a result, not a prerequisite.
That's been really true for me. And I always thought I needed to be confident to go out and do something. I needed to have confidence and knowledge to go out and start a business. But what I actually needed to do was go out and start a business.
Definitely. So, I'm going to give you this opportunity to add anything else that you may want to share with people. And I think what you've shared already is huge. So don't feel under pressure to add something else. And then to talk a little bit about the Birmingham event and what you see is on offer for people, why you're so passionate about being involved in bringing it about.
Yeah, I'd love to answer that. Thank you. So it's huge. If you go into any of these events with the openness to want something different, they can be the key. People pay thousands and thousands of pounds to have experiences with weekends away, confident building activities, fire walking. These are more powerful, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I've seen through my own eyes, than anything else I've ever been to or attended. And speakers that are on stage in Birmingham have been really specifically picked to create an unlocking with anybody that wants to be there. And those people that are going to be on the stage in Birmingham, that group of people, those speakers, they're never going to be together on the stage again with exactly the same people, with exactly the same people in the room. The connections that people are going to build in the room is going to be huge. And I've realized through attending the events, it's no coincidence this is my 4th event, because every single time I see something different, I see what's relevant for me at the time, and I grow. And this is an opportunity for people to be in that room. This is an opportunity for people to go and be and have something different to what they've had before, and to go past what was their ceiling before, and to realize there is no ceiling. Because if one thing I know for sure, and I've heard people say it before, and I've thought, yeah, but I really, really know, if I can do what I've done through being who I'm being, every single person can create what they want to create just by showing up anyway. And that's been my biggest secret. And people often ask me, what is it? How have you been able to do this? And that's it. Even when I show up anyway. That's my mantra. And when you come into that mind frame and you go out and you buy your ticket, or you commit to buying your ticket for Birmingham, the journey begins right there and then, because you've got access to all the material, which is absolutely mind-blowing. You're starting to build connections with the people who are going to be there.
Yeah.
You're stepping into, in a lot of circumstances, people from around the globe who buy a ticket for the event and think, right, how the heck am I going to raise the money to get there? Where am I going to stay? How am I going to get to the event on the day? And all of that becomes the experience. It's so much more than what's in the room on the day. And do you mind if I share, give you a first glimpse at something we're looking to start up? So this is a Birmingham first.
No, I'd love that. Go on.
Exclusive. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up a group for anyone who feels like, I really want to be in Birmingham, but I haven't got the money. And we're creating a money creation group for the tickets. So we're going to be doing masterclasses on how to raise the money and the funds. And it's a real opportunity, to drop the excuses of why you can't be in that room, because I don't even have the words to describe what's going to happen there and the changes that are going to take place.
I absolutely love that. Because obviously I've seen it like with other events, people who have agreed to go, may have got a ticket from someone and then said, I have no idea how I'm going to get there, like the plane fare and the hotels, or have committed to going and then and not known how they were going to get the ticket. And I've watched those pieces fall into place for them alone. They've had to navigate that on their own. And what you've just spoken there, what you're offering there, is an opportunity for people to go through that together, and not only end up with a ticket for Birmingham, because obviously, like, I've been part of the wealth creation groups that you've run previously. So there's not only the opportunity to do that, but to actually grow and change before the event even happens.
Mm.
That is spectacular.
Yeah, how often do you get that?
That is amazing. So I'm going to finish this here because we've been chatting for a while, but I want you to remind people of the dates and um, how they can get a ticket, and if you want, how they can take part in such a group if they're wondering how they're going to get the tickets and how they're going to get there.
So the event is on 25th and 26th of May this year. It's going to be held in Birmingham, UK. We've got incredible speakers and some more surprises still to come. Can't say too much about those at the moment, but they're good ones. Tickets are available from Eventbrite, and there are groups on Facebook. So if you put in TUBE24 to either a Google search or into Facebook, probably Instagram and LinkedIn too, but I'm not very good with those, so I'm going to leave those off the table just in case. And there are groups that you can join. There are links. If you're interested and you're watching this, of joining the ticket creation group, drop me a line, because that's in its absolute infancy. It's only been born over the last day or so, but as something that a lot of people are initially interested in doing. So I think that's going to be incredible. Best way to get me is always going to be Facebook. So I'm Angi Scott on Facebook, ANGI Scott. I think I'm the only one on Facebook. And yeah, I'd absolutely love to hear from you if you want to be in London, my first mistake of the webinar, look at that. If you want to be in Birmingham, absolutely love to hear from you, and let's create some miracles.
Brilliant. And I'm going to leave it at that and just encourage everyone to take advantage of that unbelievable offer. Thank you very much, Angie.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.